That fan, it's super quiet. YouTube, what is up? So, the good folks over at ESR who are sponsoring this video sent me out their Qi 2.2 3-in-1 wireless charging station with CryoBoost. This will charge your iPhone, your Apple Watch, and your Airpods. Now, I'm going to leave a link down in the description, and this thing will run you about 120 bucks. Now, I've been using the ESR 3-in-1 chargers, different iterations for the past couple of years now, and ESR, they put out a great product when it comes to the 3-in-1 chargers. But there are two things with this 3-in-1 charger. One, you know, something I'd like to see them try to implement maybe next time around, and two, something to bring back to the charger. And speaking of bringing things back, hey, now would be a good time if you could, you know, sub to the channel and hit that bell notification. That way you'll know when the latest video comes out and you can come back to the channel. You like what I did there?
Fool this man!
What do you guys say? Let's get into the ESR 3-in-1 wireless charging station. Okay, so let's find out what's in the box. You get, of course, the 3-in-1 wireless charging station with CryoBoost that blows cool air to help keep your phone cool and help with the charging. It's got a nice pad here for your AirPods and your Apple Watch here. Also comes with, this is about a 5-foot USB Type-C to USB Type-C cable and a 50-watt charging brick. Everything that you need right out of the box.
Yeah, pretty good, right?
Now, I brought in last year's 3-in-1 wireless charging station with CryoBoost. This is the one that my wife's been using. And just to let you guys see how much smaller that these two are. I mean, you can tell they've taken a little from the base, from the width of it, and even in the charging pad itself is slimmer. It's a little bit shorter than the old version. About the only thing that's the same size is the watch charger on this. So let's go ahead and check out the magnets. You got the magnets up here for the MagSafe, for the magnetic hold, and then you have your magnets here for your Apple Watch. However, this year they didn't include any magnets for your AirPod Pros or your AirPod 4s. That's what I'm hoping that they, you know, bring back for the next iteration. On the old ones, it's there, and I think even the other iterations, it was there. And, you know, it just brings it in and locks it into place. You know, not saying that this isn't, you know, you can't find the spot to charge, and it does have a nice silicone padding here on the bottom, but just for proper alignment, I always like magnets. And the other thing that I wish that they would add to this charger is a little pivot point in the pad for, you know, viewing angles, which, you know, this is great because you can take your phone and, you know, you can put it in, you know, the regular mode or move it, you know, twist it to landscape mode. But just to be able to have a little bit of a pivot, that would just make this thing perfect.
He ain't lying.
So let's go ahead and let's plug this bad boy up. Now, ESR does recommend when you go to charge using their cable and their included 50-watt charge so you can get that full charging experience. Because they do say that with the inclusion of the CryoBoost, that within 30 minutes, you can get up to a 60% charge. Now, I did some testing on my own, and I was able to get up to 50% in 30 minutes, which, you know, that's already, you know, good with the Qi 2.2. But Aaron off of Mr. Who's the Boss, he did some testing. He's, you know, probably got a lot better testing equipment and setup than I do. He got it up to 56%. That's even better than what Apple claims with the wired charging. Plugging this on up, make sure that you get this properly plugged in. There's like a double click, you know, to make sure that you get it in there. Listen. Yeah, make sure you get that popped in there. So, because then if you don't, you'll be like, why isn't this working?
Feel me knocking?
And then the included brick here, get that all plugged in. plug it up here. All right, there you go. Now you can see that the light is turned on. The fan only runs when you have your phone on there. And then there's a little button here that if you don't want the light or the fan on, that you can turn it off. Pop on the phone here. And you get your charging going, and you can kind of see some of the lights. Can you see some of the lights in there? I can see it glowing on the back of the phone. You can see it glowing on the back of the phone. That fan, you know, if you're a really, really light sleeper, you know, maybe you'll hear the fan, but it's super quiet. To me, that's super quiet, but what do I know? I've got fans blowing on my face in the middle of the night.
What?
To turn it off, you can just hit your little button, and it's still charging, but the fan and the light, that one turns off. And with the Apple Watch charger here, this Apple Watch charger is MFW certified, which means it's made for Apple Watch. It fast charges at 5 watts. 30 minutes will give you 50%. I've tested that, and that's not a problem. Sometimes even just a little bit over 50%. So if you do sleep with your watch on for the sleep tracking, this will quick charge your watch. And what's also cool about this charger is it is portable. So it comes with a little cap that you can pocket this and take it with you, and plugs. It's got the USB right here, and you can plug it into the side of your computer, or if you have a brick or something like that. Underrated little feature on this 3-in-1 charger. And it's also cool because it's got the little magnetic cover, so when you do travel with it, you got a little guard so you're not bending your prong. You got your Apple Watch here, and then I've got my AirPods here, and those charge up nice. Not sure how well you guys are able to see that, but they're charging. See the green light? And then you can pop your phone on like so, and great for standby mode. I use this on my bedside. You know, these are great for office, the living room, kitchen, wherever. Wherever you have a need for one device to charge all 3 of your devices, one cord to rule them all, this is all you're gonna need. And also too, when you're charging on with your iPhone, for the best results to keep your phone cool, it's, you know, running it naked.
What does that mean?
No case or anything. But they do say that you can run a case, you know, it'll still charge. I don't know how much of the cooling, but it's like 2.0 millimeters thick. You know, case is okay, especially if it has MagSafe. If it has MagSafe, magnetic ring on the case, you should be good. Just so happens that ESR with their hybrid cases, those are 1.5 millimeters. They fit on there and they work on there. Well, now that you've got your 3-in-1 charging situation taken care of, how about a case? Are you set for a case?
No.
Why, I was just showing this ESR hybrid case. Not only have they got a hybrid case, but they've got a silicone case. They've got a tough case. All the cases have a little kickstand. Got a video right here if you want to check that out for the ESR lineup of cases for their 17 Pro Maxes. Guys, thanks for stopping by. Peace and love.